Rebecca, do me a favor and tell her what you described to me upstairs.
I saw kind of a shiny, black, kind of a hovering blob, but it had tentacles coming off of it.
Now, when I spoke to your girlfriend, Heidi, she talked about a black and white figure with strange, long ears that would follow her around when she was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, okay.
Do you think what Heidi and Rebecca saw as kids was this demon thing?
I actually did have a sketch done of it.
This is interesting. This reminds me of what your girlfriend was telling me.
Ooh. It looks like what Heidi would describe with the long ears.
This thing's in your house now, apparently.
I almost don't have words for something like that. It's just, it's almost impossible to comprehend.
So I saw this thing in a drainage ditch outside. It was sucking up mud and all this crap from the ditch through its nose and go inside, and it would vomit out this black stuff that it had inhaled into the person's back. What I got for living people is that it can make them very, very ill, or it can make them have suicidal thoughts. And the thing that I thought maybe that it had possibly killed somebody already.
You mentioned something about potential suicide. I came across something in my research that might be important. In 2005, there was a deadly car accident right up on the corner here, just a few hundred feet away. 4 teenagers were driving in a sedan. It felt as if the driver was being suicidal in the way he drove. The driver, Ben Modine, was reckless and blew right through that stop sign at the end of the road here. They were T-boned by an oncoming pickup truck. Now, this was a huge crash and debris went everywhere. None of the kids were wearing seatbelts. One of the boys was ejected from the car. He died 3 days later at a hospital. A 15-year-old girl named Shantae Taylor was killed at the scene. And the driver, Ben Modine, he wound up getting sentenced to 1 year's house arrest because he was a minor at the time. He had no drugs or alcohol in his system, so no one knows why he ran the stop sign. Unfortunately, we can't ask him. That's because he's dead. A year later, Ben Modine was in another accident. He and a friend were driving fast down the highway at 4 in the morning. Again, this kid, Ben Modine, was driving. They weren't wearing seatbelts. Ben lost control of the car and flipped several times. Both guys were ejected from the car. Ben was killed. I could be wrong, but it seemed like he had a death wish, this kid.
Just a sad situation.
So I don't know if this is connected or not, but you mentioned this demon thing likes to drink water from the drainage ditch, is that right?
Yes.
Rebecca, you told me you thought activity picked up after they started fracking here a couple of years ago. Sometimes fracking can contaminate people's drinking water. Now, I talked to an environmental expert who says that exposure to these chemicals could cause some of the experiences you're having. But when I had your water tested, it came back normal.
Okay.
Now, you said this thing makes people sick. Linda's husband and Rebecca's father died about 6 months ago?
Yes.
Okay, I have a couple of photos of him here, and one with Rebecca.
You said it could cause suicidal thoughts, and my dad was hospitalized at one time for attempted suicide.
Really?
He struggled with depression. He would just say to me, I had some visitors today, and they came to see me, but I know they weren't really here.
Could this thing have caused him to want to commit suicide?
Yes. So this demon, it was accidentally picked up by a male who lived here. And I got that this was recent, like in the last 50 years.
Well, there's some other stuff you should know. Mike and Rebecca have done a ton of paranormal things in the past. You name it, they've tried it. I want you to explain to her what's going on, what you guys did, and how this stuff spiked after you two met.
It was ill-advised, but we, decided to have a couple sessions with the Ouija board.
List the other things you've done.
We reached out to an exorcist, a demonologist, and we've worked with a Reiki master, and we did a ghost tour on my birthday.
Now, Linda, I know you don't like all that they're doing, right?
No, I don't. I don't feel that doors should be opened when you have a choice not to.
So did Mike and Rebecca bring this demon here?
No. This could be possibly your husband because it wasn't something he was looking for. It was accidentally picked up.
Okay, so it sounds like it wasn't Mike and Rebecca fooling around with the stuff.
Not for that.
Oh, okay.
For
what?
something else.
So you're not off the hook.
No, you're not. The biggest threat in the house to you specifically is the Shadow Man. So what I saw was a male with a Ouija board, and that is what caused the shadow person to come into this realm. And I saw it fixated on a female in the room upstairs to the left.
That's Rebecca's room.
Some of the specific things that I saw it doing to you was dragging you off the bed, that there would be bruises that you would maybe wake up with because it's trying to pick you up and drag you through walls, and that it's happening pretty much every night.
You remember when I said Rebecca was going through hell here, right? You pretty much hit on why.
I get scratches and bruises.
Look at this. Look at these bruises.
Wow.
I feel like I've been held down in my bed. I had my tooth knocked out. I was laying in bed and I went to sit up, and as I was sitting up, I felt like a punch in my face.
Right, now this is the weird part though. This stuff doesn't just happen here. When you go to Mike's house, it's happened.
And she just got basically thrown off her feet and into my closet door.
There might be some jealousy stuff here because you're dealing with a shadow person who believes that she's a shadow person. That's why it's so mean and so aggressive with you. It wants you to go home with it.
I know you weren't intending to do something like that. I mean, you feeling guilty about it?
Yeah, I kind of am, and it really wasn't even my idea to do the Ouija board.
So you're blaming Rebecca for this?
She started seeing this black shadow before the Ouija board.
You buying that?
All I know is what I see, and what I saw was a man with a Ouija board. And then this thing was there.
You busted, cuz. Forget about it.
Another thing I saw the shadow person doing to you was really horrifying. And I actually did have a sketch done of it.
Gee whiz. That's why I don't sleep at night.
I didn't want to bring it up, but there was some other issues you had in the bedroom with this thing.
I felt like one night I was sexually assaulted, but there was nothing there.
I just can't imagine what she's going through. We just have to fix it.
What the hell does this thing want with Rebecca?
Well, it wants to take her home.
So if, God forbid, this was to happen, where would she wind up?
She would be missing. He could accidentally kill you trying to get you to his reality.